Good morning. Welcome to the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Gail Verdi, a newly licensed practitioner here at the center. Thank you for joining me in this meditation. Meditating alone is good, but meditating as a group is even more powerful. So let's prepare ourselves for that now. I'm going to make some suggestions. Feel free to do whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. Sit up straight in your chair in order to allow the flow of energy up and down your spine. Plant your feet firmly on the floor. Allow roots to go from the bottom of your feet to the center of the earth. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth, just behind your front teeth. This is an important energy point. Put a gentle smile on your face, a Mona Lisa smile. After all, we are going to a happy place. If your monkey mind tries to distract you, just tell it gently, "Not now, monkey mind." Let's begin. Allow your mind, body, and heart to stay still. Stay quiet. Breathe slowly and gently. Feel the sun above your head. It's so loving, so giving. You invite the sun to come into your head. It brightens up every cell in your head. Give yourself a moment to feel how wonderful that feels. Now you feel the sun moving down into your neck and throat. It stays there, brightening up everything around you. Just notice and observe. Don't interrupt it. Let the feeling happen. All you need to do is stay still. Remain quiet. Breathe and keep smiling. The sun moves down to your chest. Feel your entire chest and heart brighten up. You feel the love energy warm your heart. Keep still. Breathe in and out. Smile. Notice. Observe. And no interruptions. You feel the sun moving down to your abdomen, and it stays there. It brightens up your whole body. Just breathe slowly and gently, very slowly. Notice and observe. Allow the feelings to take place the way they are supposed to. Whatever needs to be happening right now will happen. Slowly feel the sun moving back up to your heart, and it stays there. Your heart is so nice and warm with all this love energy. Allow it to permeate every cell of your body. Now let's join our loving hearts and energy together and cover all of the continents of the world. North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Australia. We join our loving lights together to bless and heal our earth. We cover it with beautiful, shining sunlight, letting it linger in all the troubled countries of the world, especially the Ukraine and Russia. Feel the love energy and allow it to go into everything and everyone, to all of the people, animals, plants, and bodies of water. Now bring some of that light back to Calgary and directly into your home. Allow the love and light to fill every corner of your home. Bask in that glorious sunshine and store some in your heart. Say thank you to the universe for sharing all that love. come back to this room. Take in a deep breath and let it out gently. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes and get reacquainted with the sanctuary. I'd like to close with a prayer in Sanskrit. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to happiness and freedom for all. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.
Sit there and not play.
Yeah.
You're okay?
We gotta wait.
We have to wait that screen when we're on air. Oh, we're on air now.
Okay.
So it's just you.
Yep.
I'll count this one in maybe, just for the right tempo.
Right now?
No, you put about Erdo for time.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes. There's a silver lining, silver lining. We still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are, just like me. I see you searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are, I'm just like you. And I get lost sometimes and I forget what I came here to do. I keep on trying, keep on trying. And it gets frightening, frightening, frightening. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs nature. Everyone is God. Everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good. Look for the good. Everyone gets mad sometimes and maybe they should. Look for the good. Look for the good. Yeah, look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good. Life sure would be sweeter if everybody would. Look for the good in everything.
Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
Yeah. Woo! Give it up for Elevation. Steph Chapman on vocals today. Oliver, Luis, and Cam. Good morning, everybody. How are ya? The numbers are getting up. That's wonderful. I love to see all of you here, and I love to see all of you here too, our lovestream folks. It's so wonderful to know that people are still finding value in what we do. So welcome to the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living. If you are new to us, and I know we have a few people who are new to us today, I'll introduce myself officially. I'm Pat Campbell, and I am the spiritual director of the center. And if you've never been to a Center for Spiritual Living, there's a few things you need to know. I'm going to draw your attention to this slide, either on your screen at home or on the screens here. As you can see, going around the sides of the slide are representations of many of the world's faith traditions. Certainly not all of them, but many of them. And we put this up and we talk about it every week because it's important to understand that we are a faith tradition that honors all faith traditions. We understand that there are 8 billion people on this planet. That means 8 billion expressions of the divine sparks who are here to witness and live life as a unique being. So there cannot be just one way to believe or one way to act. And so we're coming up on the holiday of Ramadan. So if you were brought up in the Islamic faith, this is a big, big holiday for you. If you came up through some of the Eastern traditions, you maybe recognize a few things from that. If, like me, you were brought up in the Abrahamic traditions of Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, then we have our traditions too. Everyone, we have traditions, but we also need to do what is unique and what is best and makes our heart sing. Yes? Yes? Okay, good. So give yourselves a hand for being here. And those of you online, yes, indeedy. So we're going to start out by singing our Kong song today. And many of you, if you're familiar with us, know this song, This Door is Open to You. But I just love that we've got a number of new people here today. So this song is for you. And if you'd like to stand up and dance along or sing along, let's sing together, shall we?
No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that if you come to stay a while, just passing through, this door is open to you. Let's be silent, come and share a hug, come let's pray together, come love and be loved, from the blissed out to the turned out to, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in. God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, nothing good is to do. This door is open to you. There's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through. Know you you are not alone. Someone cares for you as an individualization and divine point of view. This door is open to you. 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 is open to you. This door is open to you. This door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Yes. Woohoo! Awesome. So I forgot to ask if anybody here in the audience, if you are here for the first time, just raise your hand. We don't want to embarrass you. We just want to greet you and say hey. So if you're willing to put your hand up. I knew we had all these kind of new people. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being part of us. And if you're new to us on the Love Stream, if you will please, like in the chat, put where you're tuning in from. People think maybe that we don't look at the chat, but we do. I do. I have a very exciting life. My Sunday afternoon is to look at the chat, to the chat from the live stream. So let us know where you're tuning in from. That's awesome, because we are a hybrid community, but we are all one community. We are here physically, and we are also here on our Love Stream. So I've got a number of things to just kind of give you the heads up about that are coming up here at the center. The first one that I want to let you know about is that we have a group called the Loops for Joy. I want to call them the Happy Hookers, but I'm told I'm not allowed to do that. But are you a happy hooker? Oh, wait, I shouldn't ask that. Wait, blur her out. But we do have a group that crochets toques, and they have made 1,800 toques since their inception, which I'm going to say 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that. Rosalie Bain is that kind of heading that up. But we also have two women, Kay Hyde and Dawn Kopic, who have made 1,000 of those 1,800 toques. So give them a hand. I know, just awesome. And this is a picture of some of them that they've actually done. And just this week, we were able to donate 100 of them to, I want to get it right, to St. Vladimir Ukrainian Cultural Center to put in welcome packets for the immigrants and the refugees that we anticipate are going to be here on our shores very, very quickly. So thank you, Rosalie. Thank you, Kay and Dawn. And thank you, all of our loopers. You guys are awesome. I know. This is my day of gratitude because I'm talking about grace. I also want to thank all of the people who are donors to our center. We have a program called Conscious Commitment, which is like an automatic withdrawal. We have 58 people who are on our Conscious Commitment program. And we are able to take that, we were able to rely on that money, take it out at the first of the month, and it just makes it very, very easy for budgeting purposes and everything else. So if you are on our Conscious Commitment program or PayPal that has an automatic withdrawal, we just want to say thank you. Thank you so much to everybody for being a donor and supporting the center in such a beautiful way. We have a peace walk that's taking place next Saturday on March 26th. I say we, meaning the New Thought community here in Calgary. They're meeting at the north end of the Peace Bridge and just kind of going through. You can make signs about this is not a protest. This is a peace walk. I just want to be very clear about that. Signs and things about peace. You can make little rocks that say peace and hand it out to people. And it's a very community-driven experience and quite wonderful. So if that speaks to you, March 26th from 2 to 3:15, meet at the north end of the Peace Bridge. Membership drive and renewal. This last time I'm going to talk about it. We are doing our membership drive. So if you are already a member, you've been a member forever, you still need to renew. It's really simple. Go on the website, go to calgarycsl.org, select get involved, then select membership, fill it out, your name. Yes, I'm renewing my membership. If you are a new member, and I think at last count, we had like 16 new members. So that's awesome considering where we are. I know, it's really cool. If you are, and you want to be a member, follow the same instructions. You can go to the website or go to the newsletter to get those instructions and sign up. And then on April 10th, we're going to have a new member celebration. So you can either be here or you can be on the live stream, but we're going to celebrate you as members of our center. And this is all leading up to our AGM, which is on April 24th. So lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff to remember. If you've missed anything, website, newsletter. I just talk about them on Sundays. We have a new class that is starting, Treat Your Mind Spiritually. This is going to be facilitated by Lance Rath and Reverend Marjorie Contenti. That is starting on April 6th via Zoom from 7 to 8:15. And the details, again, are going to be on the website and in the newsletter. And then I'll be announcing a little bit more as we get closer to it. But this is a class, if you've wanted to learn how to do our form of prayer, which is called Spiritual Mind Treatment, and actually practice it and actually have people doing treatment with you, it's very effective. This is a very effective tool. So if this is something that's interesting to you, go on the website and read more about it. And finally, would you get me my water, which is sitting right over there? Our ongoing groups, the Consciousness Seekers, thank you, darling, meet on Mondays at 7 o'clock. I do coffee with Dr. Pat on noons on Wednesdays. The Thursday meditation is at 7 o'clock, and the Saging Circle, which is for our wisdom keepers, are people who are like 55, 60 and above, and they are a power group within our center and within our community. If you want to know anything more about that, again, where do you go to look? The website and the newsletter. Thank you. All righty. So now comes the time for our sacred time. So we've done a lot of business and welcoming and talking about different things. And now we're going to start to prepare ourselves for the message, for the music. So this is the time to go within and just get into that place of communing with your higher self. As Steph leads us in a chant, and our practitioner Gail gives us our spiritual mind treatment.
Ding love, one with the divine, peace expressing heaven bright, light reflecting light, love reflecting love, one with the divine, peace expressing heaven bright, light reflecting light.
There is one universe, one infinite intelligence. It's present everywhere, in everything and everyone. It knows no boundaries or borders. It is unconditional love, harmony, and peace. I am in the universe. The universe is in me. The universe and I combine together as one. And what I say for myself is true for everyone present here today. This universal love lifts me, it fills me, it surrounds me, it guides me, it supplies me. I know peace and unconditional love everywhere I turn, everyone I meet. I give thanks for this peace of mind and for the words that I release into the universe and see manifested. And together we affirm, and so it is.
Love reflecting love, one with the divine, peace expressing heaven bright, light reflecting light.
And are you ready to lead them? All right. Go.
Our teaching tells us that words are very impactful and that affirmations are a tool that we can use. And so these two statements are indeed affirmations. Please join me in saying them while putting your hand on your heart. The Calgary Center for Spiritual Living is a beacon of spiritual illumination that inspires individuals to reveal their wholeness, co-creating a world that works for everyone. Our mission statement: the Calgary Center for Spiritual Living makes accessible a way of living and thinking that reveals one's spiritual magnificence and personal power. We co-create an inclusive community that fosters an expansion of consciousness.
Thank you, Gail. Beautiful treatment. Thank you, Steph. Beautiful chant. So we have the lovely Steph as our soloist today. We just really love her voice. It's so sweet and pure. So please give a welcome to Elevation featuring Steph Chapman.
When you can't find the light that got you through a cloudy day, when the stars ain't shining bright and it feels like you've lost your way, when the candlelight of home burns so very far away, well, you gotta let your soul shine, just like my mama used to say. She used to say soul shine is better than sunshine, it's better than moonshine, it's damn sure better than the rain. When the people don't mind, you all feel this way sometimes. You gotta let your soul shine, shine through the break of day. Growing up, I thought I had it made, gotta make it on my own. But life can take the strongest man and make him feel so alone. And now and then I feel the cold wind blowing through my aching bones. I think back to what my daddy said. He said, girl, it's the darkest before the dawn. Now let your soul shine, better than sunshine, it's better than moonshine, It's damn sure better than the rain. Well, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. We gotta let your soul shine, shine through the break of day. All of it. It's better than sunshine. It's better than moonshine. But it's damn sure better than the rain. Well, now people don't mind. We all feel this way sometimes. You gotta let your soul shine, shine through the break of day. You gotta let your soul shine, shine through the break of day.
Beautiful job. Woo! Steph Chapman and Oliver Miguel. Woo! Day Young. That was good stuff. Oh, and Cam and Luis. Thank you. Feeling good? Yeah. Me too. Okay, would you breathe with me, please? If you're new here, we always breathe together so that we can all get on the same page. There's something that happens when we inspire together. So take a breath in. And again. And one more time on your own. Thank you. I started that. I didn't always do that. And I started it back when we were at SAIT in the Orpheus Theater. How many of you remember the Orpheus Theater? And it was just, I was very far away from the audience in that big old giant theater. So it was like, I need something that allows me to connect. And so I started this breathing together, and it's just become one of the most precious times for me on Sunday morning, because I just know that we're all just together. So thank you for indulging me, as always. So last Saturday, not yesterday, but the Saturday before, I had the privilege of speaking and talking about spirituality and meditation and positive thinking to a 12-step retreat at a retreat center in Cochrane. Have you ever been there, Mount St. Francis or whatever it's called? It's the most beautiful retreat center. You can go there for like silent. I don't know if I can do a silent retreat myself, but you know what? I'd be willing to give it a chance. Anyway, so I was there for this 12-step group, and I actually spoke with them last year as well, talking about meditation, and both times I was very, very touched by the experience, because they were so sincere and they were so vulnerable. And they so wanted to make changes in their lives and to heal and to get better and to make their lives better. However, there were more people at the retreat this last time than there was last year, and some of them I know were not familiar with me. And so I'm sure that they were, because there was like young men there and stuff, and I'm sure that they were wondering what this 60-something little round preacher woman could possibly have to say about the pain of addiction. So I started out with my street cred, shall you say. On St. Patrick's Day, I celebrated 36 years of sobriety and freedom from drugs and alcohol. I call it St. Patricia's Day for obvious reasons. And I shared with them that even though they were there for a different addiction than what my addictions were, we were still dealing with the same thing because addiction is addiction. And I shared that because it was St. Patrick's Day and it's all about luck, I shared with them some of the luck that I had in my life. I'm lucky to be alive from those days. I'm lucky I didn't kill anybody when I drove impaired many, many times. I'm lucky I didn't overdose. I'm lucky I didn't contract a life-threatening illness. I'm lucky I didn't end up in jail, except for that one time. And I'm lucky that I left the party when that guy with the teardrop tattoos on his face took a shine to me. And a year later, I saw him on trial for murdering a girl. There, but by the grace of God, go I, as the saying goes. And I share with them that we were the lucky ones because we were sitting in this beautiful retreat center on a Saturday morning instead of dealing with some sort of life-crushing situation that our addictions may have caused. And I said, because of that, we had all of us in that room that day had benefited from the gift of grace. And this is an unusual thing for me to say. I've been in ministry 23 years, and for years I avoided using the word grace in a spiritual way because it was just too religious-y for me. You know what I mean? It conjured up images of the big guy up in the sky who played favorites and bestowed his grace on the people that he liked and then withheld it from other people. And because I don't believe in a deity that is out there dispensing punishment and favors, grace was just not a word that I was comfortable using. But as I have deepened in my spiritual understanding, I've come to believe that there really, really is something called grace, and that we have all of us been blessed by it at one time or another. So if you've been coming here for a while, you know that I'm a little bit of a wordsmith. Sorry, I also have a tendency to run a little warm. It's not plugged in. Could maybe one of my guys do that for me? You know what? Never mind. I'll adjust. Never mind. Could it be as simple as that, Franny? Oh, it's just not plugged in. And grace shows up. Grace in the name of Fran. Oh, that couldn't have been better timing. Thank you, sweet girl. All right, so where was I? Oh, that we've all been blessed by grace. And me again, just today. So here are some of the dictionary definitions for the word grace. Elegance, certainly, or beauty of form, motion, or action. A short prayer given before or after a meal in which a blessing is asked and thanks are given. The influence or spirit of God operating in humans, we're going to come back to that one. And the freely given, unmerited favor and love of God. Now we're going to come back to that one too. So again, it's really important to detach from the old idea of God as a figure that rewards and punishes, and instead begin to embrace the idea of an energy, of a life force, like in Star Wars, the Force, the source. And instead of thinking of the guy up there, start thinking about this life force that expresses itself as love, as growth, as intelligence, as orderliness, and yes, even as grace. Because one of the ways that this energy expresses itself is through us and as us. It's not the only way, but one of the ways that it knows itself is by means of us. In fact, our founder, Ernest Holmes, put it this way: grace is the givingness of spirit to its creation. Isn't that beautiful? Grace is the givingness, the generosity of spirit to its creation. So it brings me back to our definitions, especially those last two. The influence or spirit of God operating in humans. Isn't that the same thing as grace is the givingness of spirit to its creation? That there is this life force energy that is knowing itself through us. It is the Spirit of God. And I know people get hung up on that word. Find a word that works for you. It doesn't care. So it is the influence of Spirit or God that is operating. It is knowing itself through us as humans. But the other definition is the freely given, unmerited favor or love of God and love of God. Now, I got to tell you, I don't like the word unmerited. Doesn't work for me. Because the truth is, if we are here and if we are living this life, then that means that life is automatically working its way and living its way through us. So we already have merit. We already are deserving, yes? We are already deserving, so nothing is unmerited. So maybe a better word might be unexpected or unsolicited. An unsolicited favor or love of God. So see if any of these ring a bell for you as how grace may have visited in your life. Something that happens out of the blue that gets you out of a jam. Yeah? That provides you with an answer or guidance. That delivers understanding or enlightenment. Just all of a sudden the light bulb goes on. Wow, I get it. What about brings you to just a sense of peace in the midst of turmoil? Or maybe it's just something super cool. That might be grace operating in your life. Annie Lamott said this: I do not understand the mystery of grace, only that it meets us where we are and does not leave us where it found us. And I might also add is that sometimes grace may not look like or feel like grace at the time. It might look like a disaster, or like a shame or trouble or a disappointment. But then when we look back on it, we can absolutely recognize it as grace showing up in our lives. So because I just shared with you about my sobriety birthday, I'm going to tell you another story of grace that happened in my life. And this is a vulnerable story. So I'm just telling you that I'm about to expose, no, not really, but I'm... When this thing happened, it did not look like grace in my life, but it was unquestionably grace. So 36 years ago, right about now, I knew I was in trouble. And I knew that this substance abuse stuff had been going on for most of my teens and my 20s. And I kept getting into riskier and riskier situations and making really unwise choices. So one day, I borrowed money from a cash register of a gas station that I was working at with a university degree. I'll have you know. And knowing that I was about to be discovered for having borrowed this money, I went to my sister and my brother-in-law to ask them for money to cover the shortfall. They said no. They said, "You are in trouble, and you need to get help. You need to talk to Mom and Daddy. You need to let them know what's going on with you. We won't loan you the money if you don't come clean with them." And I got to tell you, I was so mad. I was so mad. They had plenty of money. It would have been simple for them to give me the money. So I left in a huff, full of resentment, as you can possibly imagine, because it certainly wasn't my fault. But I had no idea that it was the beginning of a life-changing gift of grace. So I had about an hour and a half drive home, and I thought about what they said. So it was late when I got back in my hometown, but I decided to just drive by my parents' house to see if they were up. I knew they wouldn't be up because it was late, but lo and behold, all the lights in the house were on. So, man, all right. I said I was going to do this, okay. So I went in, and the reason why they were up and all the lights were on is because their water heater had broken. And they were talking about, getting a game plan together. And I sat down and tearfully told them what was going on with me and that I was in trouble, not only for having borrowed the money, but also because I was abusing drugs and alcohol. And we talked into the night. They were loving and baffled. I was so ashamed because that was not how I was raised. I come from good people. And yet, by the grace of God, several things happened that evening. And just a couple of nights later, I found it at my first AA meeting. And I've been sober ever since, 36 years ago. Now, like I said, I did not recognize it as grace at the time. I was mad. But when I look back, I without question see it as a turning point in my life. And I now recognize that it was an unsolicited, because I had not said I hadn't said, "God, I need help." I was just like, "Oh, God, I think I need help." Hear the difference, right? So this was an unsolicited or an unexpected action of spirit. Actually, there were two gifts of grace that night. The first was my sister said no. And the second was my parents were still up at 11 o'clock at night because their water heater was broken. That night. I know now, even though it was such a hard time for me, that it started a whole new trajectory of my life that ultimately brought me to this, which is my life's work, and I know it. I love this quote from St. Augustine of Hippo. "For grace is given not because we have done good works, but in order that we may be able to do them." I'm going to read that again because it really speaks to me. "For grace is not given because we have done good works, but in order that we may be able to do them." So this is my story. It's not your story. I know that. But I'm absolutely certain that every one of you has a story of grace happening in your life. You probably have more than one. In fact, our Wednesday coffee group, come to the Wednesday coffee group. It's such a wonderful group. When we were talking about grace just a couple of weeks ago, and I asked each one of them, we usually have about 15, 16 people, and I asked them, share about a time when you knew that grace had happened in your life. And what most of them said was, "Oh gosh, I don't know which story to choose." Meaning, of course, that we've all been visited by grace. We've all received that gift of grace. And particularly if you're in a teaching like ours. Because what happens with a teaching like this, just like that first song that Steph sang, look for the good. We are trained to look for the good. We are trained in our hearts to recognize when grace, which is another word for God, shows up, because we find that we see it everywhere. Look for the good in everyone. We do that. We are trained to do that. So, of course, we're going to have lots and lots of stories because it's everywhere. So there's this quote by Ramakrishna, and I just love it. It said, "The winds of God's grace are always blowing. It is for us to raise our sails." The winds of God's grace are always blowing. It is for us to raise our sails. So part of our spiritual evolution is to learn how to first raise up our sails when that's time, and then adjust them so that we can catch the winds of grace. Now, I could tell lots of stories. I like to tell stories. Have you figured that out? Yeah. Lots of stories about grace. It happens. This was today, Fran finding the cord was grace in my life as I was up here roasting. So I could tell those stories. I could tell stories about what's going on in the world and see grace. Because I want you to think about this for just a minute. Even with all of the unrest that we are seeing more acts of kindness, more acts of bravery, more grace happening in spite of the turmoil, or maybe because of the turmoil. So I thought it would be fun for us to actually have that experience of feeling grace, not just talking about it. You willing to pray and play with me? Say yes, Dr. Pat. Thank you. Would you come up? Thank you. I'm going to leave this screen up because I think it's really quite beautiful. And so I'm going to just take you through a guided meditation for just a few moments. I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable. And just begin to feel your body relaxing. One way to put it is feel yourself melting into the chair. And focus on your breathing. And as you relax even more, set aside anything that you came in here with and allow a sense of peace to envelop your mind and your body. Just allow yourself to feel at peace and connected with life. And begin to imagine or feel as if you are surrounded by an energy of love, an energy of grace. Imagine or feel it as a cool, refreshing breeze that is lightly touching and surrounding you. It is so wonderful to be in the midst of this breeze. It is not only gentle and comforting, it is also enlivening, and energizing. And you recognize this as the wind of grace. And it is flowing over and around you. It is waiting for you to raise your sails and go with the flow. And you intuitively remember that when you are living in grace, things go more smoothly. Events happen effortlessly. The things that no longer serve you simply dissolve and disappear. And you surrender and embrace the goodness that is all around you. And in this moment, you allow yourself to fall into grace. Now, before I bring you back, I'd like you for just a moment to feel the energy in this room as you slowly begin to return. Begin to feel yourself in this room. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and be here. And I will once again call your attention to the slide. The winds of God's grace are always blowing. It is for us to raise our sails. Happy sailing, good grace, and so it is. So I'm going to invite Elevation back up. I love this choice of a song. And Steph, thank you for the noodles. That's a musician term for playing music in the background. Or maybe I made it up. Please welcome again, Elevation.
You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. You can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Move mountains, we're gonna walk it out. Move mountains, and we'll rise up, rise like the day. We'll rise up, rise unafraid. We'll rise up do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains. Again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. That we have each other, and for that we have each other. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise up. And we'll rise up, right like the day we'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. We'll rise up, high like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you.
Yes. Woo.
Thank you.
Steph Chapman. Girl, you got a sweet voice.
Thank you.
Golly, you got a sweet sax there, too. How do you feel? Good? You know, I want to give another a shout out also. I sometimes forget about them because they're just behind the scenes, and that is our tech team. You know, those of you who were part of the live stream, you know how hard they have worked in the past 2 years, and now they're doing double duty because not only they have to make everything good for in here, but also on the live stream. And so Ben and Bernie are up there today, so thank you guys so much. Jason has COVID. So, Jason, we love you. You told me you're going to be watching in your jammies, so you better be. Anyway, we love you so much, and we're just sending you lots of healing energy, knowing you're walking through this easily and effortlessly. So, now's the time that I talk about, oh, you know what? I bet we don't have any baskets. Suzanne, could you run into Lance's office and get the baskets, and maybe that gives me a chance to talk about this a little bit. Thanks, Ron. We are a nonprofit organization. We are supported completely by donations. And you all have really stepped up while we were not around. Thank you for that. We have a casino coming up. We also do work the casino. That doesn't mean I go and take the church coffers and try to win money. It doesn't work. No, I'm just kidding. Come on, that was a joke. Oh, but we are working the casino, so that's another thing. Those of you who are signed up for casino at the end of the month, thank you so much. If you're at home, here are the ways you can support the center: e-transfer, website, send a check, call the office, go on to Conscious Commitment. That's wonderful. Those 58 people and I thank you as well. And then here, we're going to go ahead and take our collection. So at home and here, take your tithe, your gift, your offering, your donation, hold it to your heart. Give it some love. And let's say our conscious giving affirmation together. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I give returns to me multiplied abundantly. I am so blessed, and so it is. And so it is. Okay, I'm going to throw a little monkey wrench. We're going to, I thank Grace. Woo. Yeah? Is that good? Mm-hmm. All right. So stand up and let's sing together.
1, 2,
energy going. We're going to grace ourselves, and we're going to send grace out into the world. On a count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Have a great, great week. Love you. Thanks for being here.
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast to be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle beneath your skin. Live from the inside with no sunlight, sometimes a shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. What you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Just wanna see you, I just wanna see you. Just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Just wanna see you, I just wanna see you. Just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy, falling for the fear and done to disappear and bow down to the mighty. Don't run, stop holding your tongue. Maybe there's a way out of the cage where you live. Maybe one of these days show me how big and brave is. Say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave and clear the way. History of silence won't do you any good. Did you think it would? Can your words be anything but empty? Why don't you tell them the truth? Say what you wanna say